It's time to bring unity and love in doing our part to break down the barriers that divide us. It's time for Unshaken with Becca V. Get ready to hear positive news stories and enlightening interviews, plus music from underground recording artists around your community and the world who are making a positive impact on society. Now, here's the host of Unshaken, Becca V.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm really excited because on today's show, we have a local San Diego Christian rapper. And it's really important to me to get some local music out there for the listeners here in town. I know we have some people from all over the world, but I'm so excited. So T-Dac, he is a Christian rapper. We're gonna talk about his testimony, how he came to Christ, and his journey through music. So please welcome T-Dac. Hi.
Hey, how you guys doing out there? Thank you for letting me be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
You having a good day?
Yes.
Awesome.
Blessed. Every day is blessed. Every day I wake up.
Amen. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and just launch the show with one of your songs, Come Home, and then we'll chat after it's done.
Nice.
All right, here you go. Come Home.
Was out there being reckless, not caring. Never thought I would feel so alone. When I turned around, my God said, son, why don't you just come home? Come home. No place, there ain't no better place for you to be. Ain't no better place for you to be. So much time was wasted. These thoughts in my head, they go on and on. Whatever happened never would change it. All it did was make me strong. So much time was wasted. These thoughts in my head, they go on and on. Whatever happened never would change it. All it did was make me strong. I was out there being reckless, not caring. Never thought I would feel so alone. When I turned around, my God said, son, why don't you just come home? Come home. Gotta hand it to my Savior, pick me up from the grave. I know I'm home. I was down in the dirt, now I got a new life and it shows. I was on these streets really not caring. Just a matter of time, I'm locked up again. About the hustling, I was grinding. Just a roll of the dice, left and right, losing friends. Oh, yeah, I'm missing them. Some in the grave and others I can't trust them. Back in them days with them knuckles I would rush them. Rolling with them thugs holding, yeah, you know they bustin'. Gotta hand it to my Savior, pick me up from the grave. I know I'm home. I was down in the dirt, now I got a new life and it shows. It shows. Out there being reckless, not caring. Never thought I would feel so alone. When I turned around, my God said, son, why don't you just come home? Come home. No place, there ain't no better place for you to be. Ain't no better place for you to be.
All right, that was Come Home by T-Dac. All right, that was awesome. So, hey, you know, some of these listeners, they may have never heard of you or your music. So would you mind telling them a little bit about yourself and maybe how you came to Christ?
Well, I grew up in San Diego pretty much all my life, born in La Mesa. And so to go how I've always believed that God existed. I always knew Jesus existed. I just wasn't following. And so later on in life, it was only about 5 years ago when I really decided to give my life to Christ. And the way he's always there. You know, it's up for us to turn around and go towards him.
Very true.
So it was an interesting story. I'll try to like condense it a little bit because
We got a little bit of time. Don't want to miss out on the goodness of Jesus.
the goodness.
This is the good part about how you came to Jesus.
Yeah.
The most important part.
right. So, I used to party a lot, do everything, all you know, just kind of live in the hip hop lifestyle. What that music will feed you and get you into, as far as the secular lifestyle in hip hop. And I was doing music I've been doing music for about 16 years. And I would do shows and stuff like that, hip hop shows and stuff like that, rap shows. But so fast forward to about 5 years ago, I was really going through a hard time, and I would drink constantly throughout the week and party. You know, that was like the most important thing to me. And it came to a point where I just started realizing that I was empty, and like anything I tried to do, there was always that emptiness. So I decided to stop drinking the way I was and go to the gym. So I started going to the gym, and it was probably like 6 or 7 months going to the gym, not drinking, and I started gaining a lot of weight and was just having a good time doing that, feeling a lot more healthy. And I was having an issue with the old friend at the time. So we were roommates. I was upset. I go to the gym one day and I'm sitting there doing dips on the dip bar. So I was really upset. Like, you know, when you get the shaking type of upset and stuff like that, you're like, you want to be the good person and you're like, ah. So anyways, a man comes up to me and he looks at me and he was like, hey, God told me to come over here and pray for you. And I was like, whoa, all right, then. I didn't know, you know what I mean? I was like, okay. And he introduced himself. I introduced myself. And he walked away. He said, I'll be praying. And at that point, I mean, to be transparent, I was going through it. So I was like almost in tears in the middle of the gym, about to like try not to be like, all right, don't do that. Don't do that. And so, you know, I gave my composure, finished my workout. 2 weeks later, this man comes up to me again. He's like, I've been praying for you. He introduced himself again. And we talked. He asked me what I do for a living. I told him. And I asked him. And he said, I'm a pastor. And so at that point, he basically became my mentor. And
Wow.
I didn't even know, I wasn't going to church or nothing. He was like, hey, you should go to this church with me. He named a specific church. You should go. I was like, one day. And his name's Eddie. I was like, one day, Eddie. And at this time, he continually was feeding me. So I would see him in the gym 5 days a week. And he was like feeding me the word. And he would like, basically, he's a pastor. So he was like preaching to me for like an hour every day. I was getting fed, which was a blessing because a lot of people don't just get that one-on-one with the pastor.
Right.
I was getting these CDs from him, listening to the CDs on my way home, and then trade them in for another one of the pastors that he listens to. So I was just getting fed. And months and months later of him saying, hey, you should go, to cut the story a little short, like I'm not listening, and God meets you where you're at, right? So
Totally.
God sends this woman into my life, and she says the same thing. Hey, you should go to this church. And she mentions the church that
place?
he talks about.
I love
and
Jesus.
of course, me being hard-headed, but then now there's this woman in front of me. I'm like, yeah, let's go. That sounds like a good idea. I've been wanting to go there. Right?
Yep.
So I end up going. When I showed up, she served at the church. When I showed up, she wasn't there. She wasn't sitting in there. I text her. She was like, enjoy the service. So I was like, oh, what the heck? I'm going to be sitting in here alone. Like,
Right? I don't know these people.
so yeah, I'm just sitting there. She's serving, right? And they did the altar call. And I walked up and gave my life to Christ right then. And I was going every Sunday after that, and then got involved shortly after, you know, probably like 8 months after, really got involved. And yeah, so it was God moves and he knows exactly what to do and his timing is perfect, so.
That is so encouraging because some people might think they have to like make some changes in order to come to God because they associate a physical building and maybe a specific religion as the church, but we the people are the church, and so God can reach us anywhere. And they often get this idea that they got to kind of act in a certain way and have their life a certain way before they come to church, as in the building, looking for God, but that's what they associate it with. Not realizing you can just be who you are, and
Absolutely.
you can come with all your issues, and God's the one that's going to help you with all of that anyways. So that's super encouraging. So if there's anyone listening, you don't have to fix your life up or dress up all pretty to come to Jesus. You can just come with all your mess, and he is very patiently waiting on you. He loves you, and he is just waiting for the day that you would come so he can help you, love you, and fix all those problems in your life, right?
Absolutely. That's the best time to come to him when you have all that mess.
Exactly.
You don't want to deal with it all yourself. So, and we're never perfect. So there's never a perfect time, but now.
Yeah. And he never stops pursuing us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay. So how did you get into music?
So basically in the party lifestyle, I ended up having some friends. And I've always liked writing since I was a kid, as far as lyrics and stuff. And like I said, about 16 years ago, I had some friends that were already doing music. And they were like, oh, you write? And we were like in the same lifestyle. They're like, oh, you write? Well, here, come to the studio and let's record you a song. So we did that. And from then on, I just, we're still good friends to this day. And even if we are going to do music together, they respect where I'm coming from, because there's a fine line from doing, music as a Christian artist. So they respect that. And I really appreciate that and love them. And
cool. So you just kind of brought what you were doing, but now turned it over to the Lord. And so you used to rap in the world and came to Christ. Now you're rapping, and your lyrics are Christ centered now.
Yes, that was the lifestyle I was living wasn't fulfilling, and we had done a lot of shows and traveling around a little bit and doing shows and stuff like that, but I wasn't really gaining anything, and especially spiritually from it.
Exactly.
Now it's just blessing after blessing.
It's fulfilling because we were created to know him. Yeah. So anything we do before Christ is empty. We're not fulfilled unless it's him fulfilling us through the gifts that he gives us, like music. And we were talking kind of off the air about tell me how you feel about different types of music and how your music can be utilized to reach people.
Well, I know that it's for some people that are probably new to the faith, just new to that relationship with God. They might not find some music that kind of connects to them, that they exactly connect with and want to listen to. And the type of music I was doing before, I like to keep a little edge to it. It's not, real soft. It's, I like to try to keep a little edge to it to make it interesting for people, because like you had mentioned, there's, he accepts us how we are and meets us where we are.
Yeah.
So I just like to make that music that can just reach people wherever they are. They might stop and take a listen and get some word from it, get some knowledge and get fed. So
yeah, I mean, they might hear worship and be like, no, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they might hear, some of your songs and maybe even just hear the beat and be like, man, that hits hard. I like that, or just, I like that. And then start listening. And if anything, it plants seeds.
Yes.
Even eventually, if you get CDs made and you hand them out, I mean, there's information on there and they can contact you. Music is such a great tool.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful tool. Now, what do you have planned in the future? I know you're just, tell me a little bit about how you're stepping out and doing step at a time, how you were telling me. And then, you have some stuff planned for your music. So.
Yeah, I do. So I took a break from music for about 3 years because I needed to get fed. I needed to get in the Word. I needed God to, guide me in the right direction. So I didn't do any music for about 3 years, and I started back and I saved up some music and just started working on projects. And now I'm finally releasing it again as of around the beginning of this year. So I'm going to have some videos coming up in the near future. I want to do, I'm working on a nonprofit because I really want to give back to the community. I mean, this is what it's all about, you know, and just giving people a place, just a place to look for, just a refuge, you know, something like good music that they can just listen to and know that they can get behind it and know that it's doing something good out in our neighborhood, out in our community. And I just really I really enjoy talking to people. I really enjoy helping people out, praying for them. And so this is just something that opens the door to just serve people more, you know, and that's what God calls us to do.
Yeah, music is totally a tool. Totally a tool to reach people, love people, plant seeds, encourage, uplift. Most definitely.
Yes.
So you were saying that you were a little hesitant on like releasing some music and coming on the show because you were like, you know, but you got a prophetic word and, you know, and then you were like, okay, I'm going to get the music out there. And so tell me a little bit about that.
Well, basically, you know, how we mentioned a little bit earlier, you know, it's God's timing.
Yeah.
I've been put in so many positions now where I was not comfortable, but we all know that if you're comfortable, you're not growing, right? So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
and I've grown a lot from being uncomfortable, just like my story of going into church and being super uncomfortable, just sitting down and nobody around me. I don't know nobody, but then I felt, you know, I felt the Spirit, and that's all I needed right there. So just I always want everything to be perfect, you know, or try my best.
All lined up and have
Right.
a plan. And
Ready to go. But God has a plan. You know, God always has a plan. And when you're getting word from people to do this or do that, and it's prophetic from God, you know what I mean? They're speaking life into you. You need to really stop and listen to that and take action on it immediately. Because you don't want to just sit back when people are telling you or God's speaking to you. You don't want to sit back on it because somebody else could step right in that place. He could call on somebody else, you know, while you're taking that long road around, while you're going through Egypt and
Yes.
So
in the wilderness too long.
yes.
Come into the promised land.
And I've been in the wilderness for a long time. So
Yeah, I call San Diego my promised land because I was in Kansas City a long time. And like, I learned a lot. I got saved out there. I grew into who I am as a minister out there. But man, I went through a lot. And I was born and raised here, and I had been wanting to come back for so long. And I finally, long story, but I finally got to come back, and I just told everyone, I'm going to the promised land. I'm going to the promised land. Goodbye, Egypt. I'm out. I was so happy.
that's good. Now look at you.
Yeah. Hey, trying, kind of winning.
Yeah.
So Jesus is awesome. Hey, I try. Okay, so if there's someone out there listening that's kind of like at that place where they're not quite sure, and maybe they're like a ultra planner like you are, I mean, what encouraging word would you have for them? Because you almost didn't do the show as well because you wanted to have your website and some particular things lined up before you came on.
Yeah.
And you're telling me about, hey, you know, you talked to a friend and got confirmation that, hey, let's go. Why wait, right?
I talked to Pastor Haney. I want to give him a shout out and say hello, Pastor Haney.
Hi, Pastor Haney.
Yeah, and Iman. They're just wonderful leaders, great influence in my life, and I just thank God for them. So
yeah, well, they kind of confirmed that you should come on right where you're at with what you have released before you have certain steps that you had planned to take, that those aren't taken yet. But God was like, nope, let's go now.
Absolutely. Right? Pastor Haney's like, just go now. Go. So, and that's another thing too. We could sit there and we could stand still and not put something out or not go talk to someone or not go pray for someone when God tells us. And what we're really doing is we're blocking other people's blessing. So
our lives are tied to other people.
Yeah. So we need to, it's not always about us. Sometimes maybe someone needs to hear something in one of these songs. Maybe someone just, needs something in the moment. So we need to act when we're called upon, because we could be holding someone else back.
Yeah, that's so true. And also, I think something really powerful is the fact that God was like, no, go on the show, and, you've got these songs out, and you might not have this, and this, but like you said, like, he's got a plan for this. Somebody listening, they're just meant to hear what you have to say. You know what I mean? And I think that's so powerful because, it's like faith at times is like, some people wait on God and they wait forever because they think it's just gonna like happen. And sometimes God is a supernatural God and it just happens quick.
Yep.
But I've learned through my walk that sometimes it takes us saying, okay, I'm gonna go do this and God's with me. You know what I mean? And you step out first.
Yes.
Then God's like, all right, you're being obedient and you trust me. You've stepped out. I'm going to hold your hand.
He wants to
I'm going to open
action.
the door for you. I'm going to provide for that. Like, perfect example, if you needed something that costs $100, you're like, I'm going to wait for $100 and I'm not going until I have that $100 and I'm going to go buy that, for whatever the need is. But you're like, no, I'm just going to go out and I'm going to get it. And so you go and you get out there, and as soon as you walk up to get whatever it is, someone hands you $100.
Yep.
And you're like, all right. Well, there you go. That's a weird example. Sorry. But
no, it does.
No, it's like I've had that so many times where I've stepped out and then God was like, here you go. Yep. And he provided. I didn't wait for it. You know what I mean? Like,
just have that faith.
Yeah, I just had faith. I mean, of course, I heard the Lord, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, I really feel like this is what he's telling me and what I'm led to do. And it might not look the way I think it should look, but I know God wants me to do it. So you get out there and you get going on it, and boom, everything's provided. You know what I mean? It's like you walk up to the door and he's like, oh, there you are. Let me unlock it for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He's not going to unlock the door for somebody else to walk in it because that's not their door. It's your door. He's like, I've been waiting for you. Unlocks it.
Like,
you walk through. He's like, you ready for that promised land?
Yep.
I was waiting on you. All right. So, okay. How can people, so there's two ways that I feel like you can reach people. One is through your music.
Yes.
And then another is like, what if someone just kind of wanted to maybe go to one of the Bible studies at your churches or your church or something?
Absolutely.
So how would they get a hold of you if they want what you've got? Absolutely.
You could reach me on my Facebook page that I have right now. My name is Terrell Hudspeth. It's TyrellHudspeth. You could add me on there, check out my music. I would love to talk with anybody that wants to talk. I love fellowship, and I'll pray for you.
Where's your church at? What's the name of that and address? I mean, they might want to go there.
Yeah, absolutely. Our church is, our ministry is called Open Heaven Christian Fellowship, and you can go on openheavencf.com. And you can see all of the times that we have like Bible studies throughout the week, kind of like a little church service. And then also our church is in Spring Valley. So we would love our service is at 5:30 p.m.
What day?
On Sunday.
Cool. 5:30 p.m. Sunday.
Yeah.
Come on out. You should come get what we got.
Yeah.
Because God wants you just as much as he wanted us.
Yeah, absolutely. He wants everybody.
Well, thank you so much. That was amazing. And I know it touched someone's life. So we're going to close out the show with one of your songs called Wake Up.
Yes.
So thank you for being on.
Thank you guys so much.
All right.
Appreciate you.
My eyes are open wide. Yeah, won't catch me on the blind side. My eyes are open wide. It comes like a thief in the night. Lay my pride down, let God shine. Ain't no stopping me. Doing big things for the king, people tell me, yeah, that's prophecy. Doing work for the kingdom with the armor on. Tell the enemy I'm on my way, too strong. Breaking ties, building troops all day long with these freedom songs where the beat goes on. Whoever said a man of Christ can't set it off. Where is the love? I'm calling the bluff. Snuffing that flesh, enough is enough. Now I'm not about getting your head torn off. I'm about reaching life, bring them to the cross. I ain't never scared for the word I boss. God on my side, I shine, I floss. Yeah. I I don't take it back 1 minute. When I'm in it, I'm winning. The Lord give me strength and loyalty in the time I spend with him. Many years went by, devil tricking me to sinning. Now it's out the window, time to let it go. I'm grown, I'm gold, purified in his eyes every day the sunrise. Letting people know here comes the flood. Jump on the boat, let's go, let's roll. My eyes are open wide, yeah. Won't catch me on the blind side. My eyes are open wide. It comes like a thief in the night. Wake up, I ain't here trying to hurt nobody. Don't get hit on your blind side. I ain't here trying to scare nobody. Look out for the thief in the night. I'm here to put out the enemy's fire. With my old mentality, my frame of being a rider. Thank you, Lord, for saving me before my time expired. Ain't no loud in this world like the Spirit lift me higher. I ain't here trying to hurt nobody. Don't get hit on your blind side. I ain't here trying to scare nobody. Look out for the thief in the night. They be creeping while you sleeping. Every day we fighting demons. If it ain't the Lord, then who you pleasing? He's the reason that we live and not a given. You don't get
We
it,
hope
I don't
you've
get it.
enjoyed hearing Unshaken with Becca V. Tune in every week at this same time for more positive news stories and enlightening interviews, plus music from underground recording artists around your community and the world who are making a positive impact on society. To learn more about Unshaken and Becca V, become a guest, or to support the show, visit facebook.com/Unshaken Show. That's facebook.com/Unshaken Show. This has been Unshaken with Becca V on K-Praise.
I ain't here trying to hurt nobody. Don't get hit on your blind side. I ain't here trying to scare nobody. Look out for the thief.